I never imagined my life would come crashing down in such a brutal way. For years, I thought I was living the dream, married to a woman I loved, raising two beautiful children, and having a best friend who was like a brother to me. Together, we built memories that felt unshakable. But the truth was waiting for me in silence, hiding behind smiles and laughter, until one simple test exposed it all. It started with a joke. My younger son was in the kitchen one evening, struggling with his homework when my wife laughed and said, "He has your stubbornness, but none of your math skills." My best friend, who was over for dinner, added, "Or maybe he got it from me." They laughed together, and though it seemed innocent, something inside me twisted. It wasn't the first time people had commented on how much my kids looked like him. His dark hair, his eyes, even his smile. I brushed it off for years, but that night, something about the way my wife looked at him stayed with me. It ate at me until I couldn't ignore it. One afternoon, while the kids were at school and my wife was out, I ordered DNA test kits online. I told myself it was paranoia, that I'd feel guilty later when the results proved I was overthinking. Weeks passed until the email arrived, and I sat in my office staring at the words that gutted me to my core. Neither of the children I had raised, loved, and sacrificed for were biologically mine. Both were his. My best friend's, the air left my lungs. My hands shook so badly I dropped my phone. I read the report over and over, hoping there was a mistake, that maybe the lab had mixed up samples. But no, the numbers were undeniable. My wife hadn't just betrayed me once, she had built our entire family on lies. And the man I trusted more than anyone else, the man who had stood beside me at my wedding, had fathered my children behind my back. The confrontation came that evening. I waited until the kids were asleep before placing the printed DNA results on the table. My wife's face drained of color as she scanned the paper. She didn't deny it. She didn't even try. Tears welled in her eyes as she whispered, "I never meant for it to happen this way. It started as a mistake. Then it just went too far. But I love you, I always have." "Love me?" I choked, my voice breaking. "You lied to me every single day. You let me believe they were mine. You let me raise them, hold them, call them my sons while you and him—" My throat closed before I could finish. Her sobs filled the room, but they only fueled my rage. I grabbed my phone and dialed his number. When he answered, I didn't even let him speak. "I know," I said. The silence on the line told me everything I needed to hear. He didn't deny it either. The betrayal from both of them cut deeper than any blade could. I had trusted him with my life, my secrets, my family. He had been uncle to the kids, always around, always helpful. Now I saw it for what it was: proximity, convenience, opportunity. I filed for divorce within a week. My lawyer told me the DNA results would change everything, but the reality was even more painful. Legally, because I had been on the birth certificates and had raised them as my own, I was still considered their father. And the truth is, no matter what blood said, in my heart they were still my kids. The thought of walking away from them felt impossible, even though every time I looked at them I saw his face. My best friend tried to reach out, tried to explain, but I blocked him. There was no explanation that could undo years of deception. He had taken more from me than anyone ever could. He hadn't just taken my wife. He had taken fatherhood, trust, and a piece of my soul. The hardest part wasn't the betrayal itself, but the way it hollowed out every memory. Every birthday, every first step, every laugh we had shared as a family was now tainted. I thought of the nights I stayed up with sick children, the times I worked overtime to provide for them, and realized he should have been the one carrying that weight. But he didn't, I did. And despite everything, I couldn't stop loving them. Now the divorce is moving forward. Custody battles loom ahead, tangled and bitter. My wife pleads for forgiveness, says she wants to fix things, but I can't look at her without seeing a stranger. The children don't know yet. They just know their father doesn't live at home anymore. One day they'll learn the truth, and I don't know how I'll face their questions. What I do know is this: betrayal doesn't come from enemies. It comes from those closest to you. And the DNA test that destroyed me also gave me clarity. My wife and my best friend may share their blood with the children, but I am the one who has given them everything else. No test can erase that.